this is Dank, and welcome to another episode of Not For Profit, a podcast where we interview people about their path to purpose and their struggles to get there. Today's episode, I'm talking to my friend Jocelyne O'Toole. She's an actor, writer, filmmaker, used to be an opera singer, and she just came by talking about her recent struggles and also what that was to be an opera singer and where she's going now with her filmmaking. And we talk about death and the afterlife and purpose, and yeah, it's just a all-around circular kind of conversation, but it's a good one, so enjoy.
I moved here in 2006 for graduate school. So
For singing?
For singing, yeah.
So you've been here 13 years.
13 years, yeah. It's a long time.
And then, and you realized you were opera singing?
Yeah.
And you realized you weren't good enough or something?
I wasn't good enough. I have dyslexia, so It's really hard to, the letters, you have to learn all these languages, and the letters are always mix it backwards and forwards, and so also the music page, it's really hard for me to memorize the music. Wow. So I would have to it would take me such a long time to learn music, where other people, they would just look at the page and read it and it would come so easily. So it was this but I was I'm determined to get this, so I'm gonna work so hard to figure out how to learn this music. And at one point I was this shouldn't be this hard, and also I wasn't good enough. I wasn't nobody ever knew where I fit in the world. They're you're a mezzo, but you're a soprano. We don't know. So.
What got you into doing that in the first place? Opera.
I was always a great singer. So I studied with this teacher, and she, sort of was I don't know how you find those things, but I didn't want to do musical theater because I didn't dance.
You did? Oh, okay. You didn't do that.
I didn't do that. So and I always my family loved Glenn Miller music and Sinatra, and so they sounded sort of more that classic sound, and I felt I was drawn to that sound. So I went and studied classical music for undergrad. Undergrad, okay. And then I got another degree, and then I got a master's. So I have 3 degrees that I do nothing with.
That was all for singing? All
for
of that?
For singing, yeah. Yeah. I got a diploma in the middle there. Because I had a teacher who was you're not good enough to get into Manhattan School of Music. So you come study with me for 2 years. We'll work together. And he was just I was at the Met, and I'm amazing, and I'm this tenor. He had this huge personality.
Yeah.
And people just, you're so drawn to that. You're
there is something about
that
charisma.
Charisma, yeah. And you're I want to sing at the Met, and I want to be like you. And so I just followed. I was okay, I'll just do whatever you say. And then I eventually got into Manhattan School, but he was you only got in because of me. He did one of those things where you wouldn't have gone in unless I.
How old is this man?
Oh, he was in his 50s. He was an adult. Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
It's manipulation, and I had a teacher in undergrad who was do not go to graduate school because the business is changing. There's not any work, and you're going to spend all this money, and you're going to be doing the same thing. And I was fuck you, I'm going. I'm really glad I went because it meant a lot. It meant so much to my parents. They were so proud. They never went to college.
Okay.
They have high school degrees. So
what do they do in Fairfield?
Well, my dad, he was a real success story. He became vice president of sales and had a really wonderful career. But he never graduated.
Yeah.
No college. So me getting a master's was he was crying. He doesn't cry. He's just very stoic cry. So it was
wow,
it was so special.
That's great.
Yeah, it was so special. I'm so glad I went. But but I did maybe a different degree would have been equally.
You had to go, otherwise you would always wonder.
Yeah.
Get that over with.
Yeah. And I met some wonderful people who are still some of my dearest friends. So.
So you graduated in 2006.
2006, yeah.
And so what did you do after graduate? What would that?
Or no, maybe 2008. I started in 2006. I graduated in 2008. Yeah.
Right.
And then
so you have that graduate degree.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right.
And then I did a bunch of auditions, and I did like some little tours.
Okay.
Like down in Mississippi and South Carolina, and I did some shows like in the city, and then I did a show at Carnegie Hall, and that's where I met this teacher who I was like, I just want to work. He's like, you come study with me. And he's just like the greatest person.
That was after grad school.
After grad school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I did 2 shows. That, like, singing at Carnegie Hall, you're like, I've made it. You know, you're like, this is the best. I don't want to do anything else but this. And then you're like, oh, back to waiting tables. You know, it's so funny.
So you were a server the whole time too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the life, right? Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been a server, but mostly barista.
Yeah.
I'm still technically a barista.
Right.
I quit my last day.
You did? Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm doing my last,
Okay.
I gave him like half a month. I gave him more than, like 3 weeks, a month. Yeah, I gave him a month.
Okay. It's probably hard to find a good barista, I would think.
I don't know. He's a very, like, needy person, too, and it's very weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it is hard to find good people.
Yeah.
But I think I'm done with... I think he helped me realize, because he was such a terrible manager, owner, very controlling, and, like, really nuts. Like, he doesn't know it, too. He's really...
Oh.
I told him he's got control issues.
Yeah.
All these problems.
Is he there all the time, or is that part of the
like
problem?
There when he's not supposed to be there.
Oh, okay.
And I know, like, his home life is not so great. His, like, wife, like, is, like, getting annoyed with him, and he's got a 3-year-old kid, but he's still, like, he's at this place he should... I'm like... I'm gonna be like, dude, be with your kid, man.
Yes, and don't micromanage. It doesn't help anyone.
And your kid. Like, I had sort of an absent father, because he worked all the time, but not because he chose to work.
Right.
These guys choosing to do this.
Yeah.
And I even told him, like, he has a way of pressuring people without saying things directly.
Ugh.
And then he said, like, that's what my wife says. I was like, oh, Jesus.
Oh, no, you're just mirroring
I said,
everything.
oh, Jesus, dude. I was like, oh, man, yeah, I was like, dude, separate whatever that is from what I'm saying. But even though I know it's the same issue, actually, but...
Sure. That's interesting.
And then I had to talk to him another time, like 3 times, and then he was like, he started to flip it. He was like, actually, maybe you're the one that has the problem. Maybe you're the one that's too. And I was like, Dan, you know what? Maybe I'm not a good fit.
Yeah.
And let's just say I'm gonna stop working here in a month. And he was like, what? Why would you do that? Like, you can't quit. You know, when you like, he was like talking about like when you. He was like talking about his family. When you're like with someone, you want to quit. You can't just quit people.
God.
And I'm like, and I said, this is not a family.
Yes, right. This is a job where you pay me money.
Yeah, and
so
that's how it works. Yeah.
But in service industry, it really does become this weird dysfunctional family.
Yeah, but that's not healthy.
It's not healthy.
No.
I've like fallen prey to that so many times.
Yeah, a lot of people
where I'm like,
do.
oh, but we're just interacting like you're my mom and I'm your dad, or like whatever it is, and it's so fucked up. It's so hard to get out.
I try to warn other people when that happens.
Yeah.
Like, and I can see it happening right away because they're not your family.
No.
And when shit hits the fan, they will abandon you.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
You really are. We're like that world. You're replaceable. Like I just was like, it doesn't matter. They can just put another person in your spot, another body. He'll find another barista. Like, it's fine.
Well, he was like, why don't we just have a fresh start? I was like, no, dude. I was like, honestly, it's so awkward now.
Yeah.
I exposed the shit out of you. Like,
right.
it will never be not awkward.
Yeah.
Because...
You can't go back.
And, like, you're trying to gaslight me. I'm like, come on, dude. I told him that. I was like, you're gaslighting me.
Oh, no.
But I've been doing this for 20 years.
Right.
I've seen it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. You're not managing correctly.
Right.
And then he keeps like saying these passive aggressive things to me, like, "Look, well, I did this, so you never have to see me." I'm like, dude, I'm not, dude. Just like.
That's so sad.
I just like grow up. You're older than me. Why are you?
He's hurting, I think, right?
Oh yeah, he's in deep pain.
Right.
I mean, I think he has dysthymia.
What's that?
It's like low grade depression.
Okay.
Like constant low grade depression. And he's always like like kind of laughing and smiling, but it's manufactured. You know, it's like a social thing.
Sure. And you can feel that.
You can feel it, and some customers can feel it too, and he doesn't realize they can read it. Yeah. Some people can read that. Cause
it's obvious.
It's off.
Yeah.
Something off.
Right.
It's disturbing.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, it's weird. It sucks.
Had you been there a long time?
No, not even that long.
Okay.
I mean, I quit another place like in less than a month. Before that, because they were micromanaging from a distance, and that was like super annoying.
They're like on the video, like, Daniel, we saw you move that cup in the wrong.
Dude, and the reason I was so honest with this guy was because when I started, I told him why I quit the other job, and he's like, "Whoa, well, please let me know if I'm micromanaging." He like told me to tell him, so I'm like, "All right, bitch. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what's because you told me, you invited this."
Sure.
And I take people at like. What they at their like when they're at their best and they give me this words or whatever, I'll take them at that when they're at their best. If they can't handle it when they're at their worst, too bad for them. Yeah, because and I also try to tell them like, dude, honestly, because other people quit on him and they gave him these like lame excuses. Like, no one's being honest. I'm the only one that's honest with you. I hope you realize I'm the only person that's been totally honest. Yeah. Everyone else is not telling you what they really think. Yeah. Like, who said what? I'm like, oh my god, you don't get it, man.
You're not listening.
And I was like, dude, I do this with my best friends because I love them. Yeah. And it can hurt. And maybe they won't talk to me for a while, a couple months, but they always come back.
Yes, of course.
They remember, I was the only one that was honest with them. Yeah. And everybody else is just a fair weather friend that. I don't know. It's not, and I don't enjoy it. Right. But it's been isolating a lot. Like if I didn't do that, I'd probably have a lot more friends that would pretend they liked me. I'd be surrounded by a bunch of people.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
But people like that, right? I mean, that's what people think is success.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're craving, right? We want people to love us so badly.
Even if it's not totally real. Yeah. It's like just the illusion of it is enough.
Is enough. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so stressful.
So we're part of the same writing group. I haven't been in a while, but it's my favorite writing group.
Have you been in a lot of groups?
I was in 2 other groups at the same time. Okay. And one is paid. One is like you have to apply, be chosen. Ooh. Special about this Wednesday group, and I really realized it with this paid group, because the paid group, everyone's like in their mid-20s almost, right? Mm-hmm. Almost everybody. Interesting. It's like 20 kids in their mid-20s, mostly white, but they're very proud of being very liberal. Okay. And they wear it on their sleeves, you know, that they're ultra liberal. Okay. But what I noticed in this group, which I found like deeply problematic, was when a project was super half-baked and really just kind of the concept is broken fundamentally, kids would praise it and be like, oh my god, you should shoot this. Oh my god, you just need to do another draft and you should shoot. And then when the script was actually really solid, almost good to go, people just nitpicked it like crazy.
Do you think that's because it's a form like jealousy, or
I think it's like some unconscious jealousy and competition and stuff like that. And these kids they're such baby. I mean, they're so young artists, you know, so they can't comprehend how their ego affects their judgment. Sure.
Listen, it is hard to take notes.
I know.
It is really hard. It's hard to separate yourself.
Of course.
From that place and be like, oh wait, I'm not trash because somebody just ripped this apart. You feel like trash. I but it is like coming from a space where like, I want to make this better because I see something there. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Sean really is able to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. To find like the nuggets of stuff.
And then when it's terrible, he'll ask the questions that break it down and explain like, hey, what is this? What are we getting at? Yeah. And he has that like kind, brutal honesty that's like perfect. It's like pitch perfect. Yeah. And the group doesn't do that pandering stuff. I mean, not on this level. Like these kids are doing it. It's like drives me nuts. And like,
is there someone in charge at the other group?
There's like
in
three kids in charge, but they're also like want everyone to be happy, and it's like everyone's trying to create this intense social harmony. Almost more than focusing on the work itself. So like I feel like in Sean's group, we can separate the social harmony from the work.
Yes.
And we're really good at that.
Yeah.
This group, they want so much social harmony, it's affecting the way we look at the work.
Interesting. Are there people who are like elevated more than other certain people's scripts?
I think it's like actually just the worse it is, the more they're supported.
Okay.
The better it is, the less they're supported.
Wow, it's so
and it's not
wild.
just me. Like I noticed it with multiple people. I'm like, this is not, because it kind of happened to me. So I'm like, am I just being biased? But then it was happening to every good script, and I was like,
wow.
And
or do they rip yours apart? I'm sure that they do.
No, it's not that. It's that. So, the people I critiqued were ripping me apart.
Oh,
you know
interesting.
what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, you guys. This is just revenge.
Yeah.
Because their concepts were broken, you know? And I was just kind of like, hey, so, you know. Or like, one of them, the ending made no sense to anyone, but no one said it. Everyone was like, quiet about it. And I was like, alright, hey, so is it just me? Like, literally, I have no idea what happened at the end. Like, I just couldn't tell what happened.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, yeah, me too. Everyone's like agreeing. I'm like, why is no one saying anything? Like, this is so important that the ending makes sense, you know?
We have to understand what's going on.
And then she hated me.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
because of that. But I'm just like...
You can't have a script. What are you going to do with this? And you're going to send it out to people, and then they're going to read it and go, what the fuck is going on at the end?
That would have never happened in Sean's group.
No.
You know,
no.
like, we would have talked about that from the beginning.
Right.
Right? Like, the ending was very confusing. You know? Like, and we would have discussed it. But everyone's, like, so precious about everyone's egos.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to come back to Sean's group. And also, like, I guess the way they do it at the paid group, like, only 2 people present a week or something.
Okay.
So you only go, like, once or twice the whole couple months. But in Sean's group, we can present 10 pages every week. And within 6 weeks or, 9 weeks, have a feature film written.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nothing, you can do it or not do it.
Right, your choice.
You could.
Yeah. I mean, this script that I was working on, it's been a year. I started last January, and now I'm in January, and I feel like we're fundraising right now, but it's like the process of watching it grow is so interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, as myself, as a filmmaker before, somewhere in that year, I would have been like, okay, let's just do this the way it is. And it would have been not right, and it would have been a mess, and it would have had problems. I mean, it's still probably going to have problems. It's still going to, like, it's not going to be perfect. But because without that group, I wouldn't have been able to come to this place where I am now. And change as a writer, too. Like, I could never have written that script. Any part of that script, really, a year ago, I don't think.
I don't what?
Can we learn?
Oh, yeah, so...
Oh, yeah, I'm right. Well, I wrote a script about a stand-up comedian who's not very good, who just recently lost her mom, and so she's dealing with loss, and I lost my mom, like a little over a year ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's horrible. And, like, people kept going, oh, she's watching out for you. She's looking out for you. And that was, like, that's, like, a hard thing to sort of manage, because you're like, what does that mean? Is there an afterlife? I don't know. And I'm Catholic, so I have all this, like, I was raised Catholic. I'm not really Catholic anymore, but I was raised Catholic, so I have all this stuff, this, like, guilt of, like, did I do something wrong? How did I do this wrong? I didn't do enough, blah, 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 blah. So that's where the script came from.
Oh, you know, so I never tell people they're watching out for you. They're looking. Yeah. I never say that. Yeah. What I do say, and what I know to be certain, is that they would want you to thrive.
Yeah.
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 That you can.
And I see these, like, I know this is so corny, but I see these, like, little signs from her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, thanks. You know, it's, like, so nice. Because she was this huge, huge, huge force in our lives. And she was sick my whole life.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm crying.
No, it's okay. No,
yeah, she was
totally
just this huge force. So we were just like kind of trying to keep her alive for our whole lives, and then to not like now there's this like wait what? I don't have to try to keep this person alive. Like who am I now, and what do I do with myself now? It's really strange.
Oh yeah.
It's really strange.
Of course.
Yeah. It's so crazy. I love her, and it's complicated.
That's not crazy.
Yeah.
That's not crazy at all.
Yeah.
I mean, so since I started like tapping into unity or whatever, it's everyone's there. I mean, okay, so when I was a kid, when I was 3, 4, 5, I had tons of dreams where I was hanging at these 2 old people, a husband and wife, would take me to a park and hang out with me in a park. And this went on.
Wow.
Again.
The same people?
It's recurring, the same people. And they were my dead grandparents I never met.
Really?
They're my mother's parents.
Oh my
and
God,
I saw
that's so beautiful.
I saw their photo. I told my mom, oh yeah, I know them. They take me to a park.
Stop.
When I go to sleep
That's
in my
amazing.
dreams. Yeah. Like, I don't know what is what, but let's just say like everyone that existed in the one moment that exists, right?
Yeah.
So all of reality is one moment,
Yeah.
right? And that one moment's always existed. Everyone's kind of a part of it.
Yeah.
And the more you're connected to it, the more, you will get messages from people and signs. And when I had my, like, vision quest in August, when I, like, really lost it and I became, like, a shaman.
Yeah.
I was told this grandmother was entering, this woman told me this, like, shamanic grandmother from Korea was entering my body, and I felt it and I let it happen.
Whoa.
And then I was like, there was a woman in me, and she was like, what am I gonna do in this cisgendered body, cisgendered male body?
Oh my God, I love it.
And
You're
I was
doing
just
like, what's that movie? Being John Malkovich?
Yeah, kind of. And I was like,
yeah.
just empowering people, like, and making people see the beauty of life. And
yeah.
And there was even like a dance thing in the cabin, and like you can tell there's like some dudes that are just getting drunk and they just want to sleep with pretty girls, right? So then my crazy mind was going like, I'm gonna dance too and be like half naked, but dance in a way that's so sultry and seductive that I know some of the men will accidentally think I'm a woman. And be attracted to me just for a moment.
Right, and then they're gonna be like, wait, what?
Yeah, and then it'll be like, it'll wake them up from like, hey, everyone's a person.
Right.
Like,
oh, that's awesome.
And that was the point. That was like her goal. She wanted me to do that.
I love it.
To protect the women, to like make the women less objectified. Yeah. And seen as people by being more gender fluid.
Yeah. I love that.
I don't even know if that happened or not, but
you felt it.
Yeah, so
it happened.
Just saying, like, I get signs from people.
I've had a couple of dreams with her too, and it's like so nice. And I'm like, well, I'm just grateful. I know she's around.
Yeah.
But she's not here with us now.
Yeah. Not in the body anymore. Yeah. We're all gonna leave.
I know, we're all gonna die, and I don't want to die. I
No.
know.
Though, I mean, okay, so. But
I get really bad panic attacks.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, what happens? I don't want to. What are we gonna do? That's it.
But like, so you didn't exist. Okay.
I know at one point, right?
For a long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
Most of all of time, you did not exist.
Right. Yeah.
And
I know.
And so you happen to exist.
Right.
And it's like very improbable that you exist.
Right.
It was very unlikely.
Yes, that these molecules came together or whatever.
No, but that this person met that person that met, and so many hundreds of thousands of interactions had to occur.
Right.
And then it had to be that exact sperm with that exact.
Yeah.
And then you're conscious of reality. You're like a being.
Yeah.
That is aware of reality. In reality, and that is not supposed to happen. It's so improbable.
It is improbable, yeah.
So
it's miraculous that we're all here.
Even life is improbable, like, because the Big Bang, it's chaos.
Yes.
And it's all chaos, and somehow chaos created this table, this cup.
Yeah.
And apparently, this is from total chaos.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
That's reality, right?
Yeah.
So you came from nothing, here you are.
Yeah.
And it's great, and so I guess so. I almost died a bunch of times.
Right.
And then I died on my vision quest too. I also died.
Okay.
And when I was at my last like intense vision quest, this whatever the Unity was telling me, like, you're gonna die now. Are you ready to die? And I said, they're like, are you okay with dying? They asked me, am I okay with it? And I was like, I told them,
just like throw up right here.
no. I told them, well, I guess I did cheat death like 3 times.
Yeah.
It's not fair, I guess. Other people didn't get to cheat death. Okay. And I said, okay. I was like genuine, like, you know what? I guess it's fair.
Sure.
So then I let myself die. And then so in the afterlife is more like all of space time, like everything exists at once. Everything that ever existed and will exist is all within you and outside. It's like part of you.
Okay.
That's what the feeling is. And
like sleeping, but you're conscious.
But it's more intense than dreams.
Yeah.
And but people go through this experience when they have near-death experiences too. They have a very similar experience of total bliss, unity with everything. So people that almost die actually experience this. It is something that happens. Like, it could be something in the human brain that triggers.
Sure.
But it's a state of bliss and beauty and like love everywhere, and that's what the prophets had. This happens also like at NASA with the G-force thing, that machine.
No, I don't.
When you're spinning, it like you sit there if you're trying to be an astronaut.
Okay.
And it spins super fast, so you get the feeling of zero gravity, But like they say, like 1 out of 14 people, because the blood starts leaving your brain, and your body thinks you're dying now.
Wow.
And then it triggers the near-death experience, and then suddenly, like, they see the white light, they leave the body, unity with everything, love, bliss.
Wow.
This happens to fighter pilots sometimes. Like, sometimes fighter pilots inexplicably just crash and die. Because it's happening to them, and they're experiencing the unity and love, oneness, and they'll, like, see themselves outside the plane, looking at themselves. And they're basically blacking out, too. And they crash.
Wow.
But the ones that survive, that wake up, they're like, what? And they take back control. So this is something that seems to happen to everyone.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And then you can see it with deep meditation or psychedelics, as far as I know. And near-death experiences, but and then live to tell the tale. So
when you were like, all right, fine, I'll die, then whoever was like, nah, we'll keep him on the planet.
No. Then I was like, then I was dead, and then I got all these transmissions and downloads of like, what is the true nature of reality? I mean, that happened multiple times, but this time it was like saying, you're chosen to be a bodhisattva. You did die 3 times. You happen to exist on this earth. There's an infinite multiverse.
Okay.
And a lot of physicists believe there is a multiverse. And if there is an infinite multiverse that splinters from every choice, then every time you almost died, you did die. And there's all these earths where you don't exist. You just happen to be on the one where you exist and you're alive.
Your brain's like, mine is. I'm like, I'm too dumb for this.
No, but that means it's like it's all just a gift. It's just a gift.
Yeah, right. Every second.
I don't know. If you ever do any of these things, it's beautiful. And when it's scary, you just let go. Like the key is just, even when it's scary, you just let it go. Or if you see a monster, you go up to a monster. Like, imagine there's like a monster killing babies.
Oh.
Right? And it's so horrific, right?
Yeah.
You just walk up to him and you go, hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And we'll stop and be like, oh. And then you're like it will not be scary.
Wow.
Like, that's what you just have to go into it.
Sure.
Let it happen, and And the more you let go, the more you'll see the unity, and people lose their fear of death.
Interesting. I would like
when
that.
When they have that intense experience. So they give it to cancer patients that will die. So they've been doing this a lot recently for people that have certainly will die, like within a year.
Yeah.
And they're so scared.
Sure, it's terrifying.
But they give them the psychedelic experience, high level psychedelic, and then they lose their fear of death.
Wow.
Some people, when they know they're gonna die for certain, life becomes so rich and beautiful once they know it's over.
I mean, I guess I try to implement that in my life every day. Like, this could be the last day we're on this planet. Like, we could walk outside and get hit by a car and that's it. Like, bye. But even just, like, it's still, we're not probably living our life to the most fullest potential.
But,
right? I'm still like, well, I didn't pay my cable bill yet, or, some dumb bullshit that...
But I think it's all about, like, so when people are, like, on their deathbed and they're, like, dying, what is gonna matter, really, is, like, was I kind to people?
Yeah.
And you just remember who was kind. You just remember kindness and love. That's, like, that's, like, really the most important thing, especially when you're dying. Cable bill, all that other shit. No one gives a fuck about any of that other stuff, like how successful I was.
Right. How much money, how much stuff I have.
None of it matters because you're dead, right? You're basically about to die.
Yeah.
None of that shit mattered.
Right.
It was just, did I love? Do people, and like, some people loved me, I loved them. And it's just, you're just grateful that this love existed.
Yeah. That's it.
And it's over. And it's like, this beautiful farewell where you're like grateful to everyone and you're like waving at everyone and everyone's like waving at you.
Oh, I'm so scared.
No.
I know. That sounds beautiful. That sounds really beautiful. But you're like, okay, bye, and that's it. I guess, and I guess that's. We didn't sign up for this, but that's where we are.
Yeah, I mean it's good that you like. But it's because you like life or you're scared of non-existence,
Yeah, I like life.
Yeah, then I understand, the anxiety of not being alive.
I also have a lot of anxiety, so it's just like, let's pile it on. Here we go. Like, oh, one more thing.
I mean, yeah, I try to live where, if I got shot tonight, in the belly,
sure.
And it hurts. I'm like,
Yeah.
It hurts. But that last moment, I'll be like,
people. I was nice to people.
No, I did all right.
You did all right. Dead.
Yeah, because I just want to, I want to live my life where,
yeah.
I did all right.
Sure. That's good.
Because I'm telling you, man, if you actually experience near death, there's something relaxing about but. It's when you're you feel like you didn't accomplish.
Right.
There's things you need to do.
Yes, right.
Then it's really terrifying. So if you can let go of that, I needed to do this, I needed to do that. Just I had a good life and people, I had rich relationships, these infinite loops of love. Because you don't win a relationship, you don't win your friends, know. You don't. So as long as that happened, I'm losing my train of thought. That's it. You did a good job. It's that's the best. It. And you're okay with it.
Listen how I'm like, you did a good job. I'm like, you accomplished something. No, it's I'm so
But
trained.
It's I think most people, the fear is I didn't do that. I didn't do enough.
Right.
And
I didn't achieve this thing that I wanted to do. What does that even mean? You can never achieve, you'll get the thing, and then you want the next thing, and then you want the next, and then you're like, well, I didn't get it this way, so now I gotta. It's endless.
I've seen it. My cousin, he's so filthy rich. But
what's the thing that you're trying to get?
He's still doing it. He's still working like crazy.
Yeah.
And I came to terms with that kind of stuff too. I realized if I just if I don't make shit, I don't become famous, nothing.
Yeah.
And I can just walk a dog and be with, or just walk old, be old and walk. Walking and old.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I can die like that.
Yeah.
I don't need to accomplish. Because when you're dead, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter what
matters.
you accomplished.
Right. Right.
But the richness of relationships.
Yeah.
I have a purpose, though, I guess, you know?
Okay.
And if I don't achieve it, that's too bad. But, you know, about film and TV.
Yes, right,
media,
yes.
shifting consciousness.
Yeah.
But, if it doesn't work out, it's okay, too.
It's okay.
They tried.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Jodorosky's Dune, you know? Jodorosky's Dune.
The movie Dune?
No. This guy Jodorosky was supposed to make Dune. He's very famous, like magician, filmmaker. He did El Topo.
Okay, yeah.
What else did he do? But he was supposed to make Holy Mountain. He was supposed to make Dune. And he made this epic. He didn't even read the book.
Oh no.
Okay. No. But he's like crazy. So
Yeah.
he got all these artists to work on it. And he built all this stuff, and then it was scrapped. It was canceled. But all those people, a lot of them went off to make Star Wars, and a lot of what was created in Dune was used in Star Wars.
Oh, interesting.
And it triggered this kind of creative wave of people coming up with all this new shit because of this crazy project that went nowhere. But it would foreshadow what was to come.
Wow.
It was never made. They made a documentary about it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So maybe nothing happens, but it inspires other people just to trying.
Yeah.
I mean, even
it's just a trying. Like, you think about the stuff that you've accomplished in your life, and like, what do you remember? You remember like who you were with and how you felt, and like what it felt like to do this thing with these people. You know, I don't remember like the end product. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It looks fine or whatever. Mm-hmm. But you remember the process. It's like the process is the most important, I think.
And now you're trying to get money together for this movie?
Yes.
You had a lead before?
I did. He's still going to help out, but yeah, but it was a little...
How much money are you trying to get?
Well, so initially it was $5,000, which was like, oh, actually this is like way bigger than $5,000, and then it was like 10, and now I've asked our line producer to do a line by line just because I want to know exactly what, because like this $10,000, like, is that actual, or is this just like a made up number? Like, would that get us anywhere? So I sent a line producer that I sort of know, and I haven't heard back yet, but...
Oh yeah, we're supposed to do the same thing. No,
short film. Yeah, short film, yeah.
Are you writing anything for like a feature?
I have a feature. It's a God script.
Yeah.
I wrote the whole script. But it's just a mess. It doesn't look like a script. So I've been going back. When you say God script, what do you mean? It's
you're talking about when you channeled it?
I did channel this script. Yeah. I literally channeled the script. I just was in this class, this meditative writing class, where she takes you into such a deep meditation that you literally just hear the voices and write down what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's so incredible.
Channeling.
Jess Hines, she's I cannot recommend her enough.
Yeah,
I'll send you guys.
Jessica Hines or Jess Hines?
Jess Hines.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. This, like, I don't know how she does it, but she sends you in this meditative state where you, like, get so deep. Mm-hmm. And literally, the characters just talk to me, and I wrote it down in a whole 100-page script. Right. But it looks like a mess. So now I'm trying to go back, and it's a little tricky to figure out, like, how to take this thing that just sort of plopped in my lap and make it look...
Can you outline it?
Maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Because I'm just sort of like trying to feel the similar way, but I'm never going to get back, I think. I would get back with her or in one of those class situations, but it'll probably be different. So but it's about this addicted suburban housewife. She's addicted to pills, and she goes to the church to find some like refuge or some like help. And they end up seeing her in such a desperate situation that they get her, they're actually selling drugs, and they get her to be like their drug lord. And she ends up like killing the main priest and...
what drugs are they selling?
Like cocaine and like just...
Why are they selling drugs?
Why are they selling drugs? I don't know why they're selling drugs, but I think that it's like an easy way to...
No, I mean, that's not that hard to explain.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
they lost their congregants, they're not getting enough money.
They don't have money, and they're like, well, this, like, we're, we don't pay taxes, we can kind of hide in plain sight, and so we have this vault where all the drugs are, and now we gotta get rid of it.
How did she become the drug lord?
Well, because they basically drug her and they're like, we're gonna help you, and this is the only way, because we know all your secrets, that kind of stuff. We know that you're a drug addict. We know that we're gonna tell your family and friends. It's
Catholic Church.
It's Catholic Church. Yeah, we're going to we're gonna let everybody know. And she's like, oh, I don't, please don't do that. Okay, I'll help you. Also, I'm a drug addict, so I want more drugs. And eventually, she kills the priest, and hopefully it gets herself clean.
Whoa, I didn't never heard the actual pitch. Oh. You talked about the process.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta outline that.
It's like.
That's totally.
Yeah.
Because the way you described it to me before was like it's a mess, but I thought, is it even coherent?
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, I feel it's like a mess because it doesn't look like a script. I brought in a writer's group. My first, you have to bring something every time you.
That was your first.
That was and they just ripped it apart because they were like, "What is this?" Because I just brought this.
When was the first time you went to writers group?
Last January. Or 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
You did that channeling over 2 years ago?
I did the channeling. Yeah. So it's just been in me, like, hello, we're here.
Oh.
Yeah. That's cool.
And your connection to the Catholic Church will probably really make it.
I mean, I have memories of being a kid there. We had to go to Sunday Mass and then also like at church on Fridays during school time. Like it was just so intense.
I did that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was so intense.
You saw First Reformed?
I did. Oh my God, it was so good.
Yeah.
It's really good. And I was also hesitant because I'm like, who wants to see a church movie? I think that's part of the block too.
I think right now people do want to see a church movie.
There's also that Two Popes movie that just came out, which I didn't see, but I don't really want to see it. But
pandering.
Right.
Oh look, the conservative became a liberal because God made them open-minded.
Right.
Yay.
Who cares? So I think there was a block there too that I'm like, nobody really wants to see this.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I think right now more than ever, everyone's looking for meaning.
Yeah.
And the Catholic Church symbolizes meaning.
Yeah.
And then, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
you should outline this.
Okay, I'm doing that tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, no one told you to outline this or what?
I brought it to group. It didn't come to me. I brought it to. So I've been like picking at it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I've been like I'll start it, and then I get like. Well, it doesn't feel the same way it did when I was sort of channeling it, so I don't know if that's like bad or I don't know how to manage the.
Well, from what you've heard of the artist's way.
Yeah. Oh my God, I do it religiously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I believe after you outline it,
yeah.
just look at it just like in a very clinical manner. Outline it in a clinical way, but each scene you start to write, you just look at the character. You just see them in the scene.
Yeah.
All the dialogue, all that stuff will start to channel out.
Okay.
In bits. You channel in bits. You don't do that whole full-on non-stop channeling.
Right.
But it will happen in bits because these characters are already real.
They're already they're in my brain talking to me.
Yeah, they're already real.
Sounds so crazy.
No, that's writing.
Yeah.
They're already real people. These are already real locations, real drama, real. Yeah. So all you have to do is set it and watch it.
Okay.
It's like when little kids play with dolls.
Yeah.
They're not planning it out.
Right.
They're just channeling these moments, you know? But they have to become real first.
Yeah.
You already got the hardest part, which a lot of writers, I feel like they don't have real characters.
Yeah.
These are just the writer talking from every fucking person's mouth.
Sure.
And it's frustrating because they're all a little witty.
Right.
They're all exactly the same.
Right.
Because they're not real people.
Yeah.
But if they're real people, they will start bouncing off and saying the weirdest things.
I mean, the stuff that they were saying to me, it's like I would laugh sometimes because it was so funny. And I was like, how did I don't, that's hilarious. And I'm laughing at the characters talking to me, but then a part of me, I'm like, am I laughing at myself? No, it's like they really are making jokes.
Yeah. So
in this, it's such a weird experience.
But that's becoming a real writer though. That's like this is what so many beginning writers don't understand. But if you outline and then you micro channel,
I'm gonna do that. That's
don't
amazing.
Think of it as
because I think of it as this 100 pages. I'm like, oh, I'm overwhelmed and I don't know where the problem. You know,
you just break it down scene by scene and then micro channel each scene.
Okay.
Each scene micro channel what's
great.
But when you outline it, you can kind of navigate it a little and then let the characters do all the work.
Great.
don't.
Yeah, because even just like I think I have like 17 pages again where like the opening bit, and I'm like, this just doesn't. It's too overwhelming. So I'll do that. That's great.
Yeah, I should outline the whole thing.
Okay, great. I will.
Because it's. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know the plot of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you should work on. Do you want to be a writer?
I want to. Yes, I want to write, and I want to star in my own show, and I want to.
Would you want to be in that movie?
Which one?
The drug addict.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's for me. It doesn't feel like it's for me.
Would you direct it?
I mean, of course, it's like, I thought about, like, you get on these sets and you're, like, watching people direct and you're like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to do that.
So you want to direct this?
I mean, again, I don't know. It just feels like a beast, sort of.
But also, like, it's not an expensive. It's not like it sounds like a $1 million.
Well, no. It's also very weird. Like, there's all this, like, mystical realism that happens. Like, the sky opens up and blood starts pouring down. Like, it's really weird. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's like. I mean, maybe that would change, but.
Yeah. Well, yeah, outline it. Yeah. Don't think of budget.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
And then later, we'll change it a little for the budget.
Yeah. It's not blood. It's just pouring from a body. Yeah.
And microchannel that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not one big. Like, break it down into pieces.
Thank you.
Channel it into pieces and. I don't know. It sounds like a project I would come up with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I write weird things like that, you know?
It's so weird, and I think that's also part of the thing that's overwhelming. I'm like, it feels so true to who I am, and that's terrifying, too, because you're like...
But that's the best
I know,
stuff.
but I know!
And when things are so unique and personal, that's when they're universal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when everyone can relate, because everyone has their own personal, unique things.
Yeah.
The more unique, the more relatable.
Sure.
The more unusual, the more relatable. It's not the other way around.
Yeah.
Which is, people don't realize that either. They try to make things really relatable, but they're dead. They're like dead things. But when things are so specific, like a movie about a person that designs sneakers or something and gets paid decorating sneakers, I don't know, gets embroiled in some crazy thing. But the specificity, everyone can relate.
Yeah.
Somewhat people do that with whatever.
Yeah.
Makeup, food, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think addiction, like, we've all had addiction things going on, you know?
Yeah, I have an addictive personality.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're
Me too,
addicted,
definitely. Oh my God.
To what? Drinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a complicated relationship to drinking. I've been not drinking for almost a year because I just was like, I don't want to have this... I was using it because I have anxiety, so I would be like, well,
right.
You know, it's like socially it's so
people,
acceptable where you're like, this is going to make me feel better in this moment.
Yes.
So I'm going to just have a drink. And then you're like, well, it's not helping me.
It's not helping you. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's just
a temporary relief,
yeah.
but it's bringing you a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like... Yeah.
And then I get sad in the morning. You know, it's like a real vicious cycle. So I'm like, okay, you can just be uncomfortable right now and you'll move through it. So
you've read Eckhart Tolle's book?
I actually haven't.
The New Earth?
Yeah, I haven't read that one.
It's pretty amazing.
Okay.
It's short.
Yeah.
I wish we had a copy.
Yeah.
We keep giving away
I'll
copies.
pick it up. Yeah.
We gave one to this other guy. Okay, so anyway, I guess we went over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. But it flew by.
No, but you should definitely, I want you to be a recurring guest.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Great. I'd love to come back.
Yeah, we'll do this again every, whatever. And it'll be...
Cool.
But this was great.
Thank
you so much.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. Wow.
I feel great.
No, this is great.
It's like a therapy session.
No, that's fine. All right. All good conversation is a little like therapy, isn't it? But we had a great time with Jocelyn. Talked about a lot of things, and we're definitely going to be checking in on her again. I know she's shooting a pilot soon for a web series, and still doing pre-production work on her own short. But I I can't wait to hear more from her, and I gotta see her again pretty soon. I like saw her briefly the other day, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed that episode, and can't wait to let you guys hear the next ones. We got a bunch coming up, and they're just, I don't know, there's something going on right now. I feel like the sacred feminine is about to be unleashed upon the earth. This is the year, and once that energy is unleashed, it has to be unleashed, because ultimately the divine feminine will save the world. I really believe that. It will be the end to war and pollution, and I don't know. So let's hope that this awakening is occurring. I'm feeling it. I am hearing about it. It's resonating everywhere I go, and I'm excited for what's to come. So until next time, take care, be here, enjoy yourselves, and thrive, because there you are, here we are, and isn't that such an amazing thing?